friggin', plug stuff in anymore and have it work. You got to actually scroll through things. You got to actually, select it. Golly. We'll get it right. We'll get it right one of these weeks. One of these days. Anyway, hi everybody. Welcome back to TIMBP Live. I'm Perry. We are live. We are alive. We are here. It's Thursday night. You have made it. I thought I had everything ready to go. I was even looking at my audio levels, and I was like, "Oh, look, they're showing up. They look good." It's like things are looking fine. We'll do it live. Oh my goodness gracious. Let's say hey to some folks who are here. Sugar Kitty is first. They were multitasking. Doing the Bourbon Lord's work as always. Brewmaster saying, "What's up, everybody? It's totally cool you didn't answer my text this afternoon. I'm not hurt at all. No, really, it's okay. Hi, Perry. It's good to be back home. Hi, Tony Bag of Donuts. I am sorry I was setting up and eating dinner while I was reading your text as well. I apologize. I'm a little bit spread thin at the moment, Tony. I'm very sorry. Joseph Brazeau is here. He is the he's kind of the sponsor of this episode with one of the many pours that we'll be getting into here this evening. Talk about that in a bit. Looked like I had something on my arm, but I guess it no. Finished up at the office on my way home. I'm glad. Oh, I know it was all sarcasm. Folks. Just to let you all know, this is the last Thursday live stream that I will have for the second to last Thursday live stream that I will have for the foreseeable future. Second to last. After next week, we'll be taking baby break. For anybody who doesn't know, of course, my wife is just about 9 months pregnant. In a month from Monday, we will be meeting our new child. Which means that I will be on full-time dad duty for a little while. If you didn't know, Eric will be doing podcast duties for a bit. Tune in for that. Of course, keep supporting the show, as always. But yeah, live streams will be going on a bit of a hiatus while we adjust to new baby life. But I will be back as soon as possible after things get settled in. And I look forward to when that happens. But in the meantime, I will miss y'all. I will try to go maybe live on Instagram or something that doesn't involve so much setup while I'm on break. But you know how it is. The kids, the children, they take priority. You gotta do what you gotta do. I'll take over for you only if Joseph Brazeau promises to show up every week. That's a you and Joe thing, man. You and Joseph got to figure that thing out. I appreciate the offer, though. But otherwise, I've been working on getting the studio set up a little bit more. I don't know if you can see it behind me, but back there, this lighting's a little bit dark. I was welcomed when I signed into my computer by an update to my camera software that completely changed everything. So, had to figure it out very quickly. Got a new beer fridge back here. That's been nice. I got some side tables as well for when we record down here in the near-ish future. I hope. We'll see when that is. But overall, things are really coming together in the studio. If you missed it last week as well. The cabinet's back up. Full to the brim as well. Packed to the gills. Oh. Not go back where it was supposed to. What you got in that beer fridge? Got quite a bit in there. A lot of it right now is older releases of the Goose Island Bourbon County Stout that I haven't gotten around to enjoying just yet. Got a couple of Oktoberfests in there, of course, because 'tis the season. Of course, I love Oktoberfest beers, man. Absolutely love them. And, yeah, just a smattering. Some 450 Norths as well. But a big part of it, not just because of the studio and office space being finally set up. Brewmaster 1313 with the first Snuffy chat. Cheers to the new edition coming up, my fellow girl dad. Cheers to you, buddy. I appreciate that. I don't have anything poured up yet. I need to do so. Should probably keep it in the 100 proof range, since that's what we're going to be drinking on most of the night. I'll tell you what, I haven't done this on the live stream yet. I'll go for the Whistle Pig Piggyback 100 proof. 6 years old. Have a little bit of this to get my palate nice and warmed up. My dinner trash was in the way. Cheers again, Matt. I really appreciate you, as always. I'm almost done with a case of Polliner Oktoberfest. I also have a bunch of old Goose Islands I haven't drank. I have not had the Polliner Oktoberfest. I need to try that. Top Shelf Dustin, what's going on, my friend? Good to see you, dude. Hope you've been well. Cheers to you, though, Matt. It's dark. It wasn't too dark. Honestly, I don't think the camera was picking it up well enough. I can tell you Wilderness Trail 8 has no place next to New Riff 8. We will see. I haven't done those side by side just yet. Didn't know Woodinville had an 8. They just released it a couple weeks ago. And I tell you what, you want to talk about dark? That is a dark bourbon for 8 years old and from the Pacific Northwest. Quite dark. So we will get into that in just a minute. And also, if you want to be just like our dear friend Brewmaster 1313, Mr. Matt, you want to support the show through Snuffy Chat, and you can do so by heading to the link that is pinned at the top of your chat, or the Stream Elements link in the description below. We call those Snuffy Chats. It's our method of super chatting. It goes to support our main man back here, Snuffle Up Against the patron saint of TIMBP Live. If If you do so through that link, your message will pop up here at the top left-hand side of your screen. Everything Sports Show. But if you can't do that, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Like the video, and if you're watching on the replay, thank you just so much for being here. I feel like Wilderness Trail need to drop the 6 and 8 and let them age till at least 12, as they aren't benefiting from aging. Just sell the standard 4. I haven't tried. I don't remember if I've tried the 10-year. Honestly, don't remember if I've tried the 10-year. But I do look forward to what happens to it when it turns a dozen. Tony Joey, new subscriber alert. Guess who? Thanks, Tony Joey. Well, let's get into it, shall we? I'll save some of that 6-year off to the side as maybe a little bit of a control pour. Get my new riff poured up. Max B, cheers, y'all. Drinking some 3 Floyd's Warp. Tony Joey, it's a little bit obvious, but I will give it to you. It does look like it's just Jimmy Russell, though. So, man, I'm dying for one of the 8-year 101 bottles from Wild Turkey. I'm very, very excited for it. Also, my subtle flex, I guess. I don't know. I don't really care. My New Riff 8-year is the sample that I had left over from the distillery that we used to review on the podcast back in March. Jimmy Russell and the official Russell Muscle. But the Wilderness Trail 8-year is my bottle, of course. Oh, okay. Max mistyped initially. Cheers, y'all. Just drinking some 3 Floyd's Warspite straight malt, and it's honestly way better than expected. Nice. I forgot that they were coming out with a whiskey, honestly, but I look forward to trying it. Eric and I are planning on doing at some point an episode with the 450 North whiskeys. Not sure when, but you know, of course we'll be pairing the whiskeys with beer, and I guess it would be a day when we don't mind getting quite a bit bloated. Maybe somebody will drive us. Or drive me, I guess. Or him. I don't know. Maybe he'll Uber. Maybe I'll Uber. Or Lyft. What do the kids do these days? The kids. I Lyft. I'm back. What did I miss? Nothing. I just poured everything up, Joe. I literally just poured everything up. You missed a Snuffy chat. Does that count as something? We're just getting settled in. We're just locking in for the evening. You know what I mean? Getting ready. We're here. Did anybody else see the new Hidden Barn organic bourbon? You talking about the Weeder? Talking about the Weeder. Oh, boy. Oh, boy, did I. Thanks to you, Matt. You were actually, Matt, the first one to send it to me. But, hey, Emily Chambers, what's going on? Cheers, y'all. Cheers to you, Emily. Matt, you were the first person to send myself and Eric, I suppose, the news about the new Hidden Barn, but I did receive the press release later in the day. Now, here's the thing. As I have learned from continually saying, I hope that Eric isn't watching this. He's not. So I have requested a media bottle or media sample of the new Hidden Barn. Okay. So I haven't gotten confirmation yet on whether or not we're going to get it. I haven't even gotten confirmation yet of whether or not we're going to get the new Jack Daniel's Coy Hill. I don't have high hopes about that. Really bummed about it. It's fine. Please do. Yeah. So here's the deal. Keep it under wraps, because I hope so too. This is a community secret that we have to now keep as to whether we get this bottle or not. Okay? Community secret. Because y'all know how much, first of all, collectively, we did not like the very first release of Hidden Barn. I'm not saying that everything has been trash since then. I haven't honestly tried anything since that first release. I was so burned by it. Thank you, Matt. Matt didn't hear anything. We were so burned by that first release that I haven't been too keen on trying anything since then. And I'm not saying that everything has been bad since then. I by no means am saying that. I want him to go in completely blind. No pretense, no idea what it is I'm pouring for him. Joseph Brazeau with the $50 snuffy chat. Do something nice for Lucy and or buy diapers. My friend, I will do something nice for absolutely my wife and buy diapers. Cheers to you, buddy. I tell you what. That just made my night. I'm going to pour a little bit of this piggyback back up, too. Thank you, my friend. That was so generous of you. I really appreciate it. And you're sending me bottles of whiskey, too. I just always appreciate that. Love you, man. I don't think a single soul liked the first release. I feel like I heard a positive review or read a positive review of the first release. I just can't remember who. I'm not saying that it was a genuine first review, or it was a genuine like positive review, like they were trying to dick ride, you know what I mean? But I feel like I remember somebody being like, this is actually really good. Jackie's on track for... Anyway, you saying the Hidden Barn tasted like it came from the back door of the barn? I'm not saying that it came from I'm not saying it came from where the sun shone and Jesus touched it with his magical Jesus wiener. I don't know what that means. I have released 2 sitting downstairs. I've been afraid to open it. You open it and just like a cloud of like comes out of it. A cloud comes out of it and a skull forms. Dick ride new at Six Flags. It's a Dick Van Dyke themed ride. It's really, really niche, and it surprisingly is really popular, and it stays open for 50 years, and it never breaks down. It never breaks down. A Jesus plug? Yeah. Might open a portal nobody needs right now. Yeah. The state of the country. I mean. All right. I'm going to get into this flight. Do you trip over the you trip over and all of a sudden you have a really bad fake Cockney accent. Yeah. Anyway. All right. I'm starting with the it does trip over in ottoman. Is that what you meant? An ottoman every week. Yeah. Fantastic. I'm gonna start with the Wilderness Trail, because I figured that was also. I'm a little warm. I'm gonna start with the Wilderness Trail because that was the first of the releases that came out of these three. You step around the ottoman and then ironically trip over the rug. That's funny. It's and then you walk into so you step around the ottoman, you ironically trip over the rug, and then you get hoisted up by somehow you trip into like a harness that pulls you up. And you start into a musical number. And it's like that's when it turns. Oh, okay. That's when it turns from like a walking portion of the ride. I've already tipped. This is my bourbon stripper pod. Yeah, you're right. That's when it turns from like a walking portion, where it's like an interactive kind of Disney ride. Into like a points-based ride, also kind of like at Disney, where the better that you perform in the musical, the better you do, right? So if you are really like tone deaf, if you can't carry a tune in a bucket, you are going to suck. I mean, you are going to sound. You're not going to do well. As long as you end it by hooking up with a 20-year-old Mary Tyler Moore. All right, let's move on. That's only if you win, okay? That's only if you win. Starting with the Wilderness Trail. I mean, I still think this smells fantastic. Fresh baked bread. Cinnamon spice. Little bit of clove. Little bit of mint. It's got a really nice nose. I haven't new meaning to the phrase you're gonna make it after all. Smells like 4-year-old Wilderness Trail. I do not agree with you, Dustin. I think it smells. I genuinely think it smells older than 4-year-old Wilderness Trail. They are all 100 proof, Joe. You are correct. Yes. Excuse me. The Dick Van Dyke ride. Come out on top. I did give this a perfect score, Tony Bag of Donuts. This is one of the only bourbons in TIMBP history to have ever scored a 20 out of 20. There are 2 bourbons in TIMBP history to have ever scored a 20 out of 20. It's this one and the Parker's Double Barrel Blend. They have both received a perfect score. This is the only 8-year I have from your list. The other 2 just haven't been delivered yet. That is still excellent. I mean, that is still... I don't know. Okay. I don't know if I could still give this. And this is... Look, I stand by what I said at the time. I stand by the fact that when I reviewed it, what I was feeling about it was that everything around it lined up so that it felt like it was perfect for what it was presenting. That was 2 years ago, right? I don't know if I still feel the same way now. I think... Hey, Bill's here. Fins up, I guess? Who are the Dolphins playing tonight? No, they just played the Bills, didn't they? I just didn't want my co-host to get mad at me. Yeah, who are the Dolphins playing tonight? Thanks for being here, despite the fact that they are playing Buffalo? Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Go Go Bills then! Oh no! I'm in trouble. I am in trouble if I don't change my tune quickly. I'll be on Discord, BRB. No! I was an uninformed voter. How was I supposed to know? You know what I should also do if I feel that strongly is I should maybe take it off the screen as well. So there's no like Bill can't be like, you need to go look on YouTube right now. Because you know how Bill sounds when he talks, right? Yeah, I don't know if I still feel like I think they messed it up. You're talking about egg ball. I think they messed it up with the forward pass. Dustin, you sound like... Oh, Bill, I know, man. I know. Dustin, I don't have anything to say about that. I don't know if I still stand by a 20 out of 20 after all this time, but I do still think this is like an incredibly solid pour. I mean, it has everything that I love about Wilderness Trail wrapped up in an incredibly well-rounded product. I mean, for an 8-year 100 proof bourbon from this distillery, it is... I still don't know if I could ask for more. I mean, genuinely. And I'm not trying to like backpedal on the like. I don't know if I could stand by a 20 out of 20. I mean, that's hindsight being 2020 still. But you know, in the moment, that's what I felt about it. And under different circumstances, I'd have to look at it in a different light, maybe. But still great, still incredibly solid. I also have not had, I mean, the pour that I have had the most recently out of these three, being the new Riff 8-year, of course, the Wilderness Trail, and the Woodinville. The one that I have had the most recently is the Woodinville, because, you know, we all have good days where everything just tastes amazing. Yeah, of course. And I mean, I've gone back to, it's not like I haven't gone back to the Wilderness Trail too. And since we reviewed it 2 years ago, and felt like it was still an amazing bourbon. And I do genuinely still have an affinity for it. 20 out of 20 is like a huge bar to clear. I mean, that's like, I mean, that's why it's so rare. It took, what, 5 years for us to get to any bourbon clearing that bar. 2020, more like 20 out of 100. That's a Legally Blind joke. It's what you ranked, own it. Everyone else can go pound sand. Also, things change. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Absolutely. It's one of the only 2 bourbons I've ever given a perfect score. I see what you did there. What's up, WP? And I do stand by what it was. You know, this is one of my perfect bourbons that I've ranked on the podcast. I don't know the 20-point system, but I guess it'd be more like you'd be more like a 15. It's nose, palate, finish, and price, each category out of 5 with a final score out of 20. Mahalo Bourbon just missed a perfect score by 20 points. Don Nishida with the zinger. Oh, Mahalo Bourbon. Oh, man. What a trip. I glanced at that bottle not too long ago and thought, should I take a swig? And then I thought, well, I value my palate too much, and here we are. Nothing ventured, nothing lost. I'm like a 12 because I'd score it really badly on value. That's fine. Yeah, I know, Tony. I know. I got you, brother. All right, moving on. What I was saying before, too, is that the one I've had the most recently is the Woodinville 8-year, because, of course, we just reviewed it. I also, had another pour of it the other day, too, because I typically like, if I'm editing the podcast, I like having a pour of whatever it is that we were reviewing, if I have it, if I have a good amount of it. William LaRue Weller, George T. Stagg, and King of Kentucky are all on the shelf for $75 next to the Wilderness Trail 8-year. Which one are you buying? Ooh. I guess Stagg. It's been so long since I've had King of Kentucky. And I know that everybody loves King of Kentucky, especially the past couple of releases. I have not genuinely had a release of King of Kentucky since like the very first one. And when it first came out, it was not great. It was way too hot. It was way too oaky. It needed to be refined. Based on your ratings, the Wilderness Trail should be the purchase. Fair. Oh yeah, completely fair. On just like vibes, I feel like I would go with George T. Stagg. Of course. First release, you mean your one single barrel? Yeah, like the one time. I'm talking about like when it first came out in like 2018, 2019. The first ever set of single barrels that came out, and I didn't even have it for myself. I remember I went to and there's an episode of the podcast about it. I don't remember exactly which one it was. I had to go to, not had to, I offered to go to Liquor Barn for Chad from its bourbon night. Because he couldn't go, and he asked if anybody would be available, and I said I was free. And he was like, "Can you get it for me?" And then we recorded a podcast with it, and I don't remember like I remember, I don't remember notes, but I remember the review being pretty sour. I mean, that's all I can say. Like, and I'm not even saying that is what is coloring the entirety of my opinion of King of Kentucky. I have just not had it since then. I know that people like it now. I know that people have loved it since the first releases. I know that people love some of the first releases too. I'm just saying my own first experience with it was not extremely positive, and I want to try more of it. But it's also not something where I'm like, that's going to be the first thing I gravitate towards. All that being said, on optics alone, I feel like I would lean more towards George T. Stagg. Going back to Joseph's original question, George T. Stagg or William LaRue Weller. However, yeah, if we're going off of my rating system, yeah, it would be something like a Wilderness Trail that I would more than likely have to buy. The Wilderness Trail 8 year, for sure. I understand that argument. It makes complete sense. I have 4 bottles of the 2019. They're all pretty distinctly different. Still have a similar profile, of course. Hey, Chris is here. And you're in Seattle. Hi, Lil, too. Chad didn't like his King of Kentucky either. Yeah. But that's the one we reviewed. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you've talked to Chad about his King of Kentucky, that's the one that we reviewed on the podcast. Maybe you guys just got the one bad barrel. I mean, maybe. King Kentucky doesn't really grow on trees to the point he would have sampled all of them. Yeah. Man. For a pretty penny in itself, too. Yeah, for sure. Are you sure you're not thinking of Cream of Kentucky because that one sucked? Hang on. Okay, whatever. For whatever reason, it's not coming up. According to a post on Facebook. That's weird. I don't believe that AI post. Oh, yeah, that AI screwed up. Okay, this looks like this is the episode that keeps coming up with why is there no description for this? I don't know. Anyway, I'm getting too lost in the sauce. I'll look more into it later. Yo, Whiskey Ring Podcast. I saw Embellish Pod was in here earlier too. Thank you all for being here. Good to see you guys. Single barrels are going to single barrel. You're right. And happy birthday to Chris, too. He's thinking King. Chad and Sarah for sure didn't like their King. I got a King of Kentucky, but it was labeled rare character. That's funny. Cream of Kentucky and sucking does go hand in hand, but King of Kentucky usually has a solid wood note. Nobody waited in line for Cream of Kentucky. I actually have a few Cream of Kentuckys I like, not remotely like King. AI never screws up. True. AI rules us all. We must praise our future overlords. It's only good as the prompt. Yeah. And it didn't laser in the way that it was supposed to. It's Lil's birthday back home as well. That's true. Happy Aussie birthday to Lil, and happy early birthday too. Goodness gracious. The birthdays, the September birthdays. What was happening 9 months ago? Everybody was excited about the turn of the start of the new year. Springing forward because they were tired of. Anyway. Moving on to the new riff. You know, there's a lot more ethanol on this than I remember there being. More than just a ball drop that new year. Christmas sex? Yeah, true. The palate on the new riff more than makes up for the nose, I would say. Even though there is a fair amount of ethanol on the palate, there's a good little minty note. A lot of graham cracker. I mean, it's kind of a s'more with mint. A boozy s'more with mint, which I like. It's caked in milk chocolate. I mean, just very, very classic. The dark bacon chocolate on the new riff wins me over. I think that's fair. I completely understand that. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go right back to the Wilderness Trail as well. Milk chocolate too, by the way. Yeah. Picking up a lot more like honey syrup on the Wilderness Trail now. Honey syrup, honeysuckle. Just brighter, sweeter notes that I wasn't getting before I got into the new riff. I had the new riff 2 weeks ago in Memphis. From memory, I'd rate it higher than Wilderness. As of right now, maybe a little bit. I mean, side by side. I mean, there is something similar to them as far as like the build of these two products. As far as like the construction of these two products goes, there is something similar to them. You can tell that they are constructed from barrels that might have been laid down by somewhat inexperienced distillers or people who were still learning the craft of creating whiskey, right? There's a chunkiness to them. And I'm not saying that it's bad, but it's just not the refinedness of somebody who has been in the industry for a while. I know that's like a weird thing to say, but it's true. Anyway. They have very similar DNA structures. I'm looking forward to the new Riff 8-year. I mean, it is very good. It is very, very good. I did them side by side. New Riff just had way more depth and aged leather notes. I right now, I don't know if I can disagree with you. But if you don't like aged bourbon notes, they're way more refined than Booker's. I mean, the more recent Booker's releases, yeah, for sure. I don't disagree with that. 70 years in a couple days. All right, and comparing this now to the newest of these releases, golly, look at how dark this is. I mean, even with my hand behind it, it is still so dark. But this is the Woodinville. This is the one that we just reviewed on the podcast. Again, I went back and I tried this again the other day after recording the review. And our review, I was talking about this with Joseph earlier too. In our review, we kept going back to how there was this really, really prominent cherry note. Light char, heavy toast. Yeah. I even put that in the description of the episode. One of the tricks the big boys use, they have older bourbons in their blends if they need it. Yeah, of course. One of the biggest note that we gave in the review was just heavy cherry. In different iterations, but it was heavy cherry. And I went back to the whiskey itself in the days post the review, and the cherry was there, but it was not the dominant note in the way that it was when we did the review. And I whiskeys open up, of course, but it colored so much of our review. And again, we have to stand by it. It's what we put on the record. It's what we have to. We have to own up to, of course. It's just wild that it's the beauty of whiskey. It's wild that things change that much in just a few days. But anyway, I am very excited. And it's to me, this is so much less of like, which one's better? Which one's going to come out? And I know I said on the thumbnail, like, which one's going to come out on top? Which one's going to win? Which is going to beat the others? To me, it's less of that, and it's more of like, how do these measure up against each other? It's like understanding how distilleries are pushing themselves to innovate, even at their earliest stages, right? Looking forward when they can't, when they don't have the promise that they're even going to make it a couple of years in. You know what I mean? So the fact that these three distilleries even made it to 8 years old, and it's phenomenal. They didn't have the heritage of Kentucky distilleries. It's very cool. So anyway, let's get to the Woodinville. Cherry is still there. Brian Sawyer, what's going on? Wilderness Trail all day. It is divided in here. The masses are divided, I would say, on what they prefer. It is... Can I do a quick poll? Is there a way to do that? I am not a robot. What do you know? No, I don't want communications. Oh, I don't want to... Just let me do other. Okay. Hold on. I'm doing it. Wilderness Trail. Nope, that's not right. Too many W's. 8 year. Okay. Don't need that many. Save. Activate. Share. Copy response link. All of it sucks. Drink vodka. That's hilarious. All right, I want to see how you all respond to this. Click the link and vote. Which do you prefer? Which would you rather drink? The Wilderness Trail 8 year, the New Riff 8 year, or the Woodinville 8 year? I know that not everybody's going to respond to this. I know how interactive people are not in these chats during live streams, but I just want to see. Just a nice snap poll, you know? So far, we're sitting at 50-50 Wilderness Trail and New Riff, with no votes for Woodinville. You need a fourth option? Why do you need... Okay, it's been updated. There's two new options. One is haven't had them, and the other is none of the above. New Riff 8 year is still pulling way ahead, 80 to 20% over the Wilderness Trail 8 year. Jake Miller. I didn't offer enough options. I'm sorry. It was a quick poll. I was just trying to see. I like Wilderness Trail. New Riff kind of bores me. Woodinville has a different vibe that sets it apart from like Warm Breeze. Fair enough. Jag Miller, hey everyone, down to my last bottle of whiskey. I'm killing all my old stuff to start anew. You got to put the poll in chat so we don't have to leave. So 4 of 5 votes. Ben, what's up? This guy is live again. Can I put a poll in YouTube? My last bottle is C920. That's awesome. It was a quick poll, honey. Oh, shoot. You can do a poll. It's my first day on YouTube. Shut up. All right, fine. We'll do it. I'll fix it. We'll do it on YouTube so you don't have to leave. I didn't know you could do it on YouTube, okay? Well, I can only do 4 options on YouTube. So, look at that. You might have to censor it, but yeah, you can put a poll on YouTube. You already left. Good to see you, Ben. Hope you... How do I pop the... All right. Haven't had them is leading with 38%. Wilderness Trail 12. New Riff 8-year at 25% and Woodinville at 25%. Interesting. What if I change my vote now? That's up to you, Tony. I'm not the... Look. Nobody's coming after you, okay? It's New Riff hands down, then Wilderness Trail, then Woodinville. All good, though. Just blend them all and make a super bourbon. I'm still going to do that. Don't get me wrong. This is interesting. This is an interesting poll. Joe, to be honest with you, yo, what's up, Marty? Whiskey Nose. Good to see you. The Ocho. The Ocho. Joe, honestly, the cherry note is definitely still there. It is definitely just toned down. I mean, absolutely, it is toned down. Mix a little Pappy Fireball in your Pappy, best blend ever. I love it. Need the option. Only tried one of them, so that's the one I like. Your vote's been recorded. Thank you for writing in, Jimmy Carter. Most people couldn't be unbiased when friends are involved. I think Joe could be the exception. He's equally hateful to friends and foes. You're not, John, you're not wrong. You've made the arguably most centrist opinion or observation you could. You're rarely wrong. I think if I had to pick a favorite, just on like what I would go back to, A whiskey tube. Kyle's wife did that? Bourbon blind? Kyle's wife pranked him with destroying his pappy is amazing. John's usually wrong. He just keeps talking until he's right. 60% of the time, he's right every time. We're going to drop off as looking at where to go for my birthday dinner. Have a good one, all. Chris, Lil, love y'all. Hope to see you real soon. See you next week. Oh, next week. There you go. Should you put Fireball in the bottle, not even an individual pour? Chef's kiss. Absolutely beautiful. Make sure you're all following Embellish Podcast and hanging with Bill on your YouTubes. Absolutely. Don't miss a second of everybody just constantly negging each other and the passive-aggressive best friendship that happens in, what do you all call it? The brain trust? Hanging with Bill, a.k.a. eating in the car and saying holy buckets. It could have been Malort. Hey. What was it that Tarek said on the Elixir page? That there was something worse than Malort? I don't remember what it was. Anyway, just going on like what I'm drinking tonight. I think the one, genuinely the pour with the most character has to be the Woodinville. I mean, it is its own animal across the board. As far as like what I would reach for the most, more than likely it would be the new Riff. And I still love the Wilderness Trail too. I mean, it's what's the price on Woodinville? Johnny Smoking Gun is worse than Malort. That's hilarious. It's not the brain trust right now. It's currently called Quarreling with Pedantic Bag of Donuts. Amazing. Gotta hop off. Baby duty's call. Good night and cheers, everybody. See y'all next week. Matt, have a good night, man. Appreciate you. Enjoy baby duties. Anyway, price on Woodinville. Joe, you're going to have to answer for sure. I can't remember. We said it on the episode, and it's like studying for a test. That information has already left my brain. I want to say $130. There we go. Cliffy. Baby duties. Yeah, man. They suck, but you get used to them. They really do. They stink. Baby duties stink. Price on Woodinville is about 17% too much. I do agree. I think it is expensive. I think it is too expensive. New Riff is by far the cheapest here at around $70. It is the one that I would be the most willing to like pick up price-wise out of the three. The one I'd be the most willing to pour the most often. But the one with the most unique character by far is the Woodinville. It is, there is nothing like it that is on the market, even close to the character that is in the Woodinville 8-year. Yeah, by far the most expensive. I disagree about Johnny Smoking Gun. It's at least bourbon, despite the horrible other crap it tastes like. But it's not so bitter, it'll take the paint off your car. Closer to 24% too much. Washington taxes apply. Is it 24% sales tax in Washington? That's crazy. If it's 24%, I'm going to answer my own question. Oh, it's only 6.5%. That's what it is in Kentucky. 2 bottles of New Riff or 1 Woodinville. Eight and a half. So the Google AI lied to me again? Google AI. What are you doing? Oof. Then there's a liter tax and a liquor tax. Working in the restaurant industry in college, I recall a World War II vet filling his diaper right in the banquet line. It was sad to see. Jake, I love you. What was this in response to? What was this a comment about? Did something... I'm scrolling through chat and I'm not seeing... I mean, I feel bad for the guy too, but I feel like I needed a heads up before the diaper reference. Did I say so? Oh, the baby poop, the toddler, the baby duties. Yeah. Sorry. Holy moly. I'm good. I'm caught up now. Obviously, babies lead to World War II vets pooping. Yeah. To be fair, regular cast strength Woodinville is $65. I mean, that's twice. The 8-year is twice the price of regular Woodinville cast strength. That is too much. That's too much. I didn't have that insight when we were doing the review. But, you know. Time for football. Peace. Bill. Enjoy football. Go Bills. 70 versus 95 versus 130. Yeah, for sure. For sure. It is what it is, man. You know. Are liquor taxes higher in state-controlled liquor locations? I don't know the answer to that question. Expensive. Really expensive. And WTF. And somebody's pulling my eyelashes out one by one. I used to know a girl. I think I went all the way through high school with her. She would pull her eyelashes out, like, compulsively. I don't know. I never saw her with eyelashes longer than, like, a millimeter because she would do it so compulsively. This 8-year is also a one-off, different mash bill, different barrels, and 3 years older. Yeah, I totally get that too. You went all the way with her in high school? No. I went all the way through school with her, like all the way through. What's a better way to phrase that? Yeah, there's no better phrasing. All the way through her. Boy, we have really circled back around. No, I went to school with her middle. Never mind. Bada boom, bada bing. Sugar Kitty, I don't know if that makes it any better or I think it arguably makes it worse. She didn't just keep the unibrow area. No, Jake. Jake, you misunderstood me. She didn't pluck all of her eyebrows. She plucked all of her eyelashes. Eyelashes. You're missing. You misunderstood me. She picked all of her eyelashes out. And I mean, again, I graduated high school with her, and I knew her. She was in my kindergarten class. So I knew her from kindergarten all the way up until 12th grade. And she did that for 13 years, 12 years of our lives. I dare say she might have needed counseling. I'm not saying she didn't. I'm just saying. And sure, she was probably numb to it at some point. But for like that's in like I couldn't imagine. I dare say, good man, that lady might be in need of some professional help. Call the ambulance. The men in the white coats are going to be of service tonight. Must have been a sign if a dude noticed. I don't think I was the first person to notice. Somebody else probably pointed it out to me. She needed to go to the ranch Dr. Phil sends people to. That's awful. Now you are clearly not right in the head. Why don't you just leave your eyelashes alone? Eventually, they're going to grow back. Now, he's on set, and somebody in a giant, like, mascara, like, mascot costume comes out. No, it's called exposure therapy. It's all the rage. We're trying to... We're trying... 13 people have been cured just by this one thing. Step 1, go on Dr. Phil. Step 2, OnlyFans. Step 3, profit. She could have used Nair on the eyelids. She's blind. Her eyeballs have fallen out of her head. She sounds more like Tony said. Oh, don't tell me an outhouse and tell me it's the Taj Mahal. She sounds more like she came back from Dr. Phil's ranch. Catch Me Outside girl, I hear, made a mill the day she turned 18. That's ridiculous. It's so gross. It's so nasty, man. Ooh, the blend of the three is not great. Something happens when they're all three blended together. Fun fact, if you look at Stone Cold, his eyebrows are not visible since they match his skin. What do you mean? I just always thought he shaved his eyebrows off, dude. You're telling me that his eyebrows are actually... Holy Moses. No way. Stone Cold Steve Austin, actually. I just thought he like shaved his eyebrows off for the bit, dude. That's hilarious. They're just really, really light. Well, I should probably end this poll. Yes, I have seen Adam Ray as Dr. Phil. It's hilarious. No way a dude noticed that about Stone Cold. They're bleach blonde. He said it in a podcast when the Big Show made fun of him. So there you go, Dustin. A dude didn't just notice about, duh. A dude done knows about it. Another dude. Ridiculous. Surely we've progressed past that in this community. Come on. Come on. Come on. What are we doing here? Ugh. A female writer for sure wrote that for Big Show. Okay, dude. What are we drinking now? I don't know. I need to find something else to drink. Y'all call something out. I am fully organized in the cabinet now. I've got a couple of random pours over here. Somebody name something. I'd love to grab something random. Because I've finished up. We're in the fun half now. Knob Creek 12. I don't have Knob Creek 12. I've got a sample bottle over here. Hold on. I've got a sample bottle. C918. I could do C918. That's an easy one. I will do C918. That is for sure going to happen. Knob 12 seems like a natural progression. I agree. I could do a Knob Creek. That's not Knob 12 back there, but I will do Knob Creek for sure. But I will do C918. I have this Knob Creek 18 sample bottle. I don't know what's in here, but it is not Knob Creek 18 year. See if I can figure this out. It kind of looks like it has some wax in it. So it might be like a rare character sample or something. I genuinely would not be surprised if this were yeah. It was cuz like we got the 18 sample for review, and then we finished the 18. Eric and I did. And then there was some other pour that we had that we really liked, and he sent me home with a sample of it. And it's got blue wax in it. And I can only think of like a couple things that we've had that would have had blue wax on it, and like rare character is one of them. I don't know, man. I'm not perfect. Every time I say, I'm going to remember what's in that sample bottle, I never remember what's in the sample bottle. I'm trying to be better. I'm drinking less these days, okay? I'm remembering more. I'm drinking less. I'm taking better care of myself. Oh, it's kind of funky. Ooh, it's kind of funky. It's not bad, though. Got a good number of votes in the poll. Well, good. I'll take it. Thank you all for participating in that. I appreciate it. We'll do more polls in the future. If we, now that I know you can do them just directly on friggin' YouTube. Yeah, my best guess is that's something from Rare Character. I don't know. I'm going to go back to the cabinet and I'm going to get my C918. While I'm back there, before I go back there, should I grab anything else? I don't, like I said, I mean, I could just get this Knob Creek pick that's back here. I could add some water to it. It would be like Knob Creek. Knob Creek 12. What? Oh. Wait. So it's at 60%, right? I'm trying to get it to 50%. So, what? How do I... How do I need... What do I need? Oh, okay. I'd need 2. Okay, anyway. Russell's 15. Thanks, I don't have any of that. I would love a Russell's 15. You know what's dumb? I actually went around looking in Lexington for Russell's 15 the other day. Guess what everybody said? No. Pee. I don't have to pee. Larceny barrel proof bottle your own experience. I don't have any of that, man. I'm sorry. What we learned today is Dr. Phil is the best intro to an OnlyFans experience. Dustin 918. I really, even just a sample of Russell's 15 just so we could review it on the podcast. It's one of those where I feel like we need to have it before the end of the year so we can at least consider it. You got a Russell's 15? My Russell's 13 is at my grandparents' house right now. It's still in my, like, big collection of stuff that I haven't yet moved back into the house. Now that I have, like, all of my... So, one of the other things I didn't talk about... So, back in the back corner here, too, when the cabinet got full, I had to buy shelving. You can't really see it, but it's behind the beer fridge. I had to buy more shelving. But now that I have more shelving, more storage, I'll be able to go get the rest of my whiskey collection. But anyway, I'll grab C918. I got a 15. It just had to be picked up in one state, sent to a friend in Oregon, and then shipped to me, because why would a guy 10 minutes from Kentucky be able to get Kentucky bourbon? Who's to say? The Russell's 15 is legit, better than the 13. Dustin, I don't think you're impressed with anything. Am I the only one that gets cherry cough medicine on Russell's product? I don't know. Maybe I'll grab a Russell's and we'll do Russell's versus friggin' C918. And that's where you'll find the larceny. Oh, sweet larceny. I remember how good you were once. Maybe it's there. Maybe it's not. I don't know. Yo, Top Dog. What up? Russell's 13 impressed me. I do like Russell's 13. All right, I'm gonna grab a Russell's. I'm gonna grab C918. It's just over there. Be right back. I'm not even muting the mic. I'm crazy. I've lost my dang mind. What's this? So nice to be organized again. To know where stuff is. But anyway, C918. And Russell's. This is the Spirit of Collaboration pick. That I just love. I love. Got this one secondhand. But still amazing. Trying to think of anything dark or rich enough to compare to 918. That thing was effing epic. So sad I never had a bottle. I mean, C918 is so good. I don't know how many bottles of it I've had at this point. I've completely lost count. Where did I go? I went back to my cabinet. Hi, Dad. Papa Ritter's here. Everybody say hi, Papa Ritter. Move that out of the way. Nobody taught me how to find ECBP back in 2018. I mean, nobody taught me either. I've just been fortunate enough to get a bunch of them since then. Why was that cork so loose? Don't care for that. Be a little more careful with the C918. Joseph, you did send me some C918. That bottle is no longer around. ECBP corks shrink with time. It's a sign to drink it. That is true. All right. I don't know who said it, but I think it was Jake. Yeah. Am I the only one that gets cherry cough medicine on Russell's products? I'm going to try specifically this Spirit of Collaboration pick. And see if I feel that way. I mean, definitely not on the nose. The nose is, I mean, it's not quite, it's not pure turkey, for sure. It's very, like, mocha. It's very mocha forward. Follow your nose. The nose knows. Whatever. Well, you know what's funny, Jake? On the back end of the palate, kind of going into the finish, I do get a little bit of cherry cough syrup on this that I've never noticed before. But it's so dark and oaky. And it's got so much bold. Knows Your Bourbon Chris is actually going to be on the podcast soon. By the way, Tony. It's just so rich up front that if there is any cherry cough syrup up front, I'm not noticing it. I mean, it's a 9-month bourbon. Yeah. Dang, son. Oh. Love it. I'm a fan. And of course, C918. Nothing compares. Nothing compares to you. The nose is just so everything I want in bourbon, man. Little bit of floral, little bit. It's rich. It's decadent. It's oaky. It's smoky. KC12 makes me happy. I do love Knob Creek 12. Don't get me wrong. I just don't have a bottle of it. I almost got one. Recently. I saw it at a really good price too. I just passed it up. There was something else better that I wanted to get. Something else better. We'll talk about it in the future. It's a future what have I been drinking recently on the podcast that I'll talk about then. But I'm saving it. Jack. I don't think I have a 100 proof Knob Creek 12 right now either, but I should. Were you asking about, were you trying to get me to, I mean, not that I have the cast strength Knob Creek 12 right now. But I do, I mean, cast strength Knob Creek 12 is still one of my favorite bourbons ever. I mean, hands down across the board. I think of it fondly and often. Emily Chambers headed over to the Cliffy Bus. See you later, Emily. You mean what have Eric and Swan been drinking lately? Fair. What have Eric and Swan been drinking recently? I have a Knob Creek 12 cast strength, but we gotta hide those. Yeah, that is true. That is true. You don't feel bad drinking the 12 100? No, of course not. I'll cut off a finger for the 12 cast strength. 12 cast strength is one of those where it's almost an immediate buy if I see it these days. Now, I mean, of course, it's been 4 years since it came out, so you know, any kind of like secondary value is way elevated. But the regular 100 proof is $65, $50. I mean, that's a great price. That's an unbelievable price for that. In this economy? What are we doing? What would a knob 12 cast strength cost now? Are you talking about on secondary? I honestly don't remember what the last secondary price I saw was. And the last time I looked was well over a year ago. Dustin, shoot me a DM just to remind me, because I don't remember, and I'm gonna forget. I need you to remind me. As I call it, illegal scumbags on Facebook, but secondary. Yep. I think I tried it once at a bottle share, but seriously, who do I have to maim for a bottle? Hopefully nobody. They're calling him the bag of donuts serial killer. At every crime scene, he leaves behind a bag of exactly 13 donuts. Yeah, I wanted to call him the baker's dozen killer, but my wife saw that there was a bag of them, and, well, you know how that goes. I got overruled. I don't know why I'm big on the voices tonight, but here we are. Just how it goes, I guess. There was a store that had those 12 cast strengths forever by me and only bought like 3, so dumb. A couple years ago, and I really don't have, I have no honey holes left in Lexington. It used to be a honey hole. Like one really good store where I almost could guarantee that I would be able to walk in and they would have, you know, like releases from 2 or 3 years before just sitting on the shelf. Like at retail or a little bit above retail. And it was awesome. That place dried up pretty quickly. And now, of course, they've caught wind of how crazy the market is. Everything's secondary pricing. And I've gone there recently. best thing I could find was, and I mean, not that it's not a good find because it's discontinued, but Jim Beam Distiller's Cut, which I love that release, and I miss it. I wish that they still put that out. Forget honey holes, just places that are different to shop at. Yeah, of course. Like even places with like diverse picks. You know, everything's kind of the same these days. Everything's just kind of the same. But anyway. But a couple years ago, before it really dried up, I went in and they had like 2 or 3 bottles of the 12-year cask strength just sitting on the shelf at retail. And I just snatched it up, man. I was like, this is mine now. Like, walked out clicking my heels. I was friggin' thrilled. I'd love to find a place in Lexington with scotch. I don't know a good, like, scotch hole. I mean, I don't even, like, I'm not a big scotch guy, so it's not like I can really help you out there. But not even saying that I dislike scotch. It's just, I don't know where to tell you to go. Ask Sarah if she's found one. I don't know. Jacob Heist, good to see you. Just tuned in. Who won out of the 3? For what I would reach for on a regular basis, the new Riff. For what had the most character, the Woodinville. Thank you for stopping in, though. It's good to see you. Hope you've been well. Right now, I'm drinking on little Elijah Craig Barrel Proof C918 and Spirit of Collaboration, Russell's pick. Who all was on this pick? River 101, It's Bourbon Night, Bourbon Pursuit, and Mash and Journey. Absolutely stellar pick. As you can see, I don't exactly have a whole lot of it left either, so back into the cabinet it goes. But regardless, I think that about does it. We've reached the end of our evening together. Thank you all so much for watching. Next week is the last stream before my my little hiatus of baby break, but I'll be back before you know it. I'll be back. I'll be back. I'll be back. Don't worry about it. I'll be here. No, it's fine. Thank you all so much for watching, as always. Support the show on Patreon, of course, if you don't do so already. Hit the like button if you haven't done so. Subscribe to the channel. Follow on social media. Baby stream? Oh, man, baby stream would be wild. Maybe we could do a baby stream. Why not? Give Lucy a break so she could then take care of the toddler. We'll give Lucy a break from taking care of the baby so she can take care of the toddler. See y'all next week. Enjoy your weekend. Go listen to this week's episode if you haven't done so already, where we review the Woodinville 8-year. And that does it for me. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. See you real soon. Until next time, though, I'm Perry, and this is TIMBP. live. Bye.